My name's Leslie Strachan, and today's hat that I've got on is as a Jack Canfield coach for the Success Principles. It's a system, a methodology that we've used for about 40 years, and it gets from where you are now to where you want to be in for 2019. So if I was to say to you, what do you think you might want to achieve in 2019? Does anyone actually have an idea about that? No? Excellent. Go on. Any ideas?
Well, you've got the bland thing of I want to achieve business success, but then you need to be specific about what that looks like. And yeah, that's where it all goes a bit.
That's where it all goes a bit, which is perfect because that's where we're going to go with that today. I'm going to tell you a bit of a short story. In December, all the Jack Canfield trainers get together and we do a webinar and we review the year. And what Angela was saying earlier about noting your successes as you go through the year, I didn't do that at all, and I thought, don't know if I want to do that. And we have 7 areas of growth that we go for. You can choose any of them. So I got on a plane, as you know, and went to Tenerife, and I thought, I'll just start writing down what I thought. So I went through my diary on my phone about what did I think I was successful in work and career, what financial success did I have. Not very much. Recreation and free time, I've really started to ramp that up to make a difference in my life because I'm a workaholic. The relationships I have with my mother, with my husband, with my kids. We were talking about being on mobile phones all the time and what have you, so they're now banned. About health and well-being, and that's about losing weight and taking time about thinking about things and just going for a walk and what have you. And they can be really simple things. Personal growth, I did a lot of, and it was quite interesting in our conversations earlier that we listen to webinars and we do this and we do that training course, but what actually happens afterwards? So I've done a lot. So my commitment this year is to not learn so much, but to implement what I've actually learned. In terms of community and contribution, I do a lot of volunteer work with young people, so that was really successful. And I thought to myself, okay, wrap it up. What were my most joyous moments? It was revisiting a load of places that I went abroad last year. I love to travel. My bag's always packed. I do a lot of dancing. I love teaching. I love to sew. I've got the dog and comedy shows. And I've decided that my life got a bit boring, if you like, and I don't laugh as much. So I decided to watch loads of comedies like Michael McIntyre and people like that to sort of bring a bit more joy into my life. So that's where I came from. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if we had an ideal vision for 2019? So on the way back from my holiday, I started writing down what I wanted to achieve, work and career. And we went through all the 7 areas that we're going to do in our workshop today. And then you got to review and you share your vision with somebody else. So I thought, what a great idea it would be today if we went on to write our 2019 plan, but we shared it with each other. So you have some accountability, if you like, each month to sort of say, actually, even if it's the smallest little thing, like losing a pound or getting up and walking away from the computer and going out for a walk for half an hour, I find it really hard to do, but it's made my life so much easier. So I think that's where we're going to go today. Now, if you've never heard of Jack Canfield, he was the guy that wrote this very big Bible white book called The Success Principles, How to Get From Where You Are, From Where You Want to Be. And his methodology is really, really strong. It's not religious, it's not in any way, you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but there's 60 odd principles which are really good to actually follow. And we were talking about one earlier. Just ask, what are people going to say if you approach them in business? They're either going to say, yes, fantastic, I'll help you, or no. And every time you get a no, you just move on to something else. But he does go through quite a methodical way of finding out who you are as a person, who your personal values are, what your passions are and what you really love to do with your life, and then devise a plan to actually get there. I've been through this course 3 times, and I'm going out to meet Jack again in August. And the end result is that you come up with, I'm quite visionary, so I have a vision board of all the places I want to go, the people I want to see, the kind of life I want to live. There's not a day when I wake up in the morning now and go, I've got to go to work, because every day for me is different. It's quite creative. So on the back of his review, I then got my book out called Scaling Up, which is what I was talking about earlier. You don't have to be a big business. You know, I'm a sole trader, but I collaborate with lots of other different people. So Vern Harnish wrote this book. I now have a 2-page strategic plan. It's so simple. It's what do I do for the world? How do I do it? And then you ask yourself, why do you do that 5 times? Why do you enjoy what you're doing? Well, why? And you get down to the core of the kind of problems that you solve for people. The 2-year strategic plan or 5-year strategic plan is on 2 pages. It can go up on the wall in the office. Everybody knows what you're doing. Everybody knows what the financial targets are. But it's all in these 7 areas of the business. So I thought it'd be quite cool today if we actually did a workshop. Now, some of these areas on the sheet here are divided into 7 sections. And it might be that one of them appeals to you more than the others. So what you're going to do is you're going to work in 2s. Let's not have... Actually, if you can split up.
I'll go with Angela.
You go with Angela, that'd be good. And I'd like you to ask one person, sits opposite the other person, and all you're going to do for 5 minutes is say to the other person, like I'm just going to say to Angela now, what do you want from 2019? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And you do that for 5 minutes, then swap over. And it can be War and Peace in here, or it can just be a one-liner, and it can be anything you like. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a trigger from some of Jack's work, in that he will say, let's go for financial. He would say, what's your ideal income or monthly cash flow? How much money do you have in savings and investments? What's your total net worth? Now envision the life that your ideal income allows you to have. What kind of home do you want to live in? Where is it located? Does it have a view? What kind of garden and landscaping does it have? For me, because I love to travel, it's a case of where do I want to travel? Why do I want to travel? How much is it going to cost me? Therefore, how much do I have to earn to be able to go to these places in comfort and enjoy myself? So it's kind of just being who you are and what you want, then making a plan for actually going to go out and get it. Are we all okay? All right, so 5 minutes for one person. I'll keep a note of the time. You can work on all